The secret is to let them think they're in command. After that, you'll have the poor fools eaten out of the palm of your hand. As last Sunday when at dinner, in between chews, himself announces the momentous news that we would not be going to the farmers' dance this year. I'm not fit for dancing, woman, says he, what with my bad back and my crocked knee. And anyway, they play the same old tunes year after year. My head is sore from listening to the walls of Limerick and the Minstrel Boy and the village of Knockover. You're dead right, says I. Rule number 1. When you want the opposite, start off by pretending to agree. We'll give it a skip this year. That old dance is useless anyway. He was nodding in agreement, grinning from ear to ear, and to hell with what the neighbours say. The fork stopped halfway to his snout as he paused and pondered. Like all men, he takes time to work things out. What's this about the neighbours, woman? Speak! Well, you know, says I, not raising my voice above a whisper, the way everyone thought our bridie would be the Dairy Queen this year, only of course she wasn't. The title went instead to that tansy one that have a hide as thick as any heifer. Now, what do you think they'll all be saying when you refuse to show up at the farmers' dance next week? Can you imagine Andy Boo and the mocking jibes he'll make about you and the way you could never take your baiting only to sulk at home and vent your spleen when your daughter wasn't picked as the Dairy Queen? And all the rest of them at the dance will have a whale of a time at your expense, passing smart remarks and sly comments. Not that such things would ever matter to you, of course. You're a tougher man than to give a damn about the smart-arse observations of your next-door neighbour. A long pause once again, while he let the contents of my speech work their way into his thick brain. And I could see that, as he thought about it, he was growing more uneasy by the minute. At last, he gave a sort of a cough to clear his throat before announcing, that Sloane's liniment you gave me last week, 'tis powerful stuff. How's that, says I. Look at the way it has suppled out my knee, and I own to God, by way of demonstration, didn't he rise from his chair and start then and there doing exercises on the floor? And I was thinking to myself, if only Andy Boo could see my poor buffoon of a husband now with his backside glued to the ground and his leg up in the air, and he tried to wriggle it around and around as if he was stirring a cup of tea somewhere up at the ceiling. Oh, what pity he'd have for me in the tough look I had to get landed with a man half daft in the head. 'Tis mighty stuff, without a doubt, says I, trying to sound at least half serious. Mighty, he says, with something approaching mockery. 'Tis 10 times more than mighty, woman. 'Tis nothing short of miraculous. Back to his dinner again, and in between chews he announces more momentous news. I think we might as well go to that dance after all. We will not, says I. Like yourself, I hate them old slow tunes the band plays, and anyway, I'd be too worried about you. What if you slipped or took a fall and you out dancing? You'd destroy your knee, I tell you. No, we won't go. I'd be too worried. I wouldn't enjoy the night at all. Rule number 2. When you're getting what you want for free, pretend to disagree. Will you whisht, woman, says he, and I have to tell you there's no need for all this worry. And as for the tunes the band will play, I hear they're practising Roddy McCorley, and that's my favourite song of all. Now, be said by me for once, you and me are going to the dance, and that's an end of it. But, no ifs or buts, he said. Know your place, woman, and be said by me. Okay, says I, breathing a so slow, sad sigh, as if I was trying to come to terms with life's worst misery, while he took to strutting around the kitchen like an amateur Napoleon. Rule number 3, as already stated, let the poor fools think they are in command, and in next to no time they'll be eaten straight out of the palm of your hand.